Topping our news at 5:30, a 7 News Detroit investigation has triggered criminal charges against a former Highland Park police officer, a direct result of reporting by 7 investigator Ross Jones. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Mike Duffy.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. The felony charges stem from alleged misconduct that Highland Park officers kept quiet. It allowed the officer to join a new department where he's now facing another slew of criminal charges. Here's 7 investigator Ross Jones.
Case number 2500211, Damian Lamar Player.
Damian Player left the Highland Park Police Department years ago, but today, inside 30th District Court, his past came back to haunt him.
The incident that Mr. Player is charged with stems from when he was employed at the Highland Park Police Department.
Player was charged today with assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and common law offenses, all over alleged misconduct that we first revealed that his former department kept hidden.
Boss man, you gotta bounce.
It was April of 2020 when then Officer Player came into contact with a homeless man loitering outside of a Burger King. The man would not comply with a request to leave the restaurant, so from his police vehicle, Player would try to tase him.
You wanna tase?
It didn't work, so Player got out of his vehicle and the two engaged in a back and forth. But when the man eventually does appear to leave, Player is seen following him. And with the man's back turned to him, Player fires his taser again, then takes the man to the ground.
Now stay down.
Video shows the man's head strikes a concrete wall hard, and he appears to lay unconscious as Player tries to wake him. The man, who would be later taken to a hospital, would be charged with nothing.
Yo, wake up, man.
It's a scary situation. Someone just hit their head. It's not a situation where we should have been involved in that. It's disappointing. I mean, that individual didn't deserve that.
James McMahon was a sergeant back in 2020 and said Player's use of force warranted discipline and possible criminal charges, but that the chief at the time did not forward the case to Wayne County's prosecutor. Instead, he said Player was made a full-time firefighter with Highland Park, and later on, when another police department wanted to hire him, the city never disclosed Player's use of the taser, only reporting that he left the department in good standing.
Next, police officer Damian Player.
By keeping it all quiet, Player was able to join the Warren Police, and 2 years later...
Open the door now, you get tased. Open the door now.
This was Officer Player pulling his taser on a truck driver trying to back his semi into a loading dock and briefly blocking traffic. When the driver was uncooperative, he would be pulled out of his truck and tased not once, but twice. That incident triggered criminal charges out of Macomb County, meaning today, Player is a defendant in 2 different courtrooms for 2 different alleged assaults.
Of course, going to enter a plea of not guilty, set this matter for probable cause conference.
Well, James McMahon became Highland Park's chief after Player left the department. He requested that an outside agency investigate Player's tasing, which ultimately led to today's charges. Through his attorney, Damian Player declined comment. He was given a $10,000 personal bond and is not allowed to leave the state or possess any weapons. Again, a not guilty plea entered on his behalf.
Hard to see that behavior repeat itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all those dots connected. All right, thank you, Ross.